Hey VIP, this is Chris Brigandy from Brigandy Coins Collectibles here in New York City. This week we have quite the eclectic collection for our VIPs, and I want to start right here with a Muhammad Ali piece. Now typically when we have Ali items, we'll have a photo, maybe a signed glove, but what's great about this is not only is it autographed, but it's also an original piece. So this is an original ticket from the 1960 Olympics. Ali famously won the gold medal for the United States. And this is his quarterfinal ticket. Also, you'll notice it's gigantic in size. It's a really large ticket, and it's also unused. So when you're collecting tickets, it's always more valuable, more rare to have an unused ticket. And not only is it unused, again, it's signed right there, front and center, nice large signature. And this will look great as is, but we can also frame it up really nicely, probably with a nice picture of him from the Olympics winning his gold medal. And we'll put a nice frame together for you too. So the next item I want to show, let's switch over to some entertainment. This is really cool. This is the first one I've owned like this. This is a Frank Sinatra signed album. So it's the Days of Wine and Roses. This was a really cool album at the time. It was from 1964. I'm just going to pull it out here because it has the original vinyl inside as well. And just like the Ali, we can frame this, or you can keep it as is, but it would be really cool to frame it up with the vinyl sticking out there. And you have some great songs on there, some great classics. And I'll flip it over too so you can see the reverse as well. There you go. And then you have all the song lists there as well. So the next item I want to show is baseball related. So we always talk about how Ted Williams, Mickey Mantle, and Joe DiMaggio headlined all the sports events and the show signings in the 1980s and 90s. So they're not necessarily tough autographs, but what's cool is to add something that's a little more unique, a little different. So here we have a full name, Theodore Samuel Williams, something he didn't do too often. Obviously, it would take a lot more time and a lot tougher for him to do. Instead of just signing the typical Ted Williams sign balls. So if you ever see a full name Ted Williams, just a really cool item to pick up. This has a gorgeous signature. It's a nice white ball. I'll flip it around. It's official Bobby Brown ball as well. So I've seen Theodore Samuel Williams. I've seen Mickey Charles Mantle, but I don't think I've ever seen Joseph Paul DiMaggio. So if you ever see that one, make sure to pick that one up because that's really rare. Sticking with some baseball. These are great. These are real nostalgic for people who grew up watching the golden age of baseball. Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente, Roger Maris. So these are the original bobbleheads, original nodders, if you will, from 1961 and 1962. What's great about these ones, though, these are all completely original, and the condition of them is just outstanding. So typically when you find these online or you go into a shop, they're going to have issues, mainly a lot of chipping because they're made of a very fragile paper mache material. And then the inside of the heads, I'll hit them here a little bit, it's all springs. So typically the springs break, the heads fall off, they get smashed. I mean, these were kids' toys. They got played with and they got ruined. So finding nice examples like these, fully original, is really, really tough. Mantle Maris, obviously 1961. Those are the biggest names in New York, along with Willie Mays. We have the Bat Boy in the middle here, but this is actually the toughest one of them all, Roberto Clemente. He's extremely just rare and tough to find an original bobblehead like that. That's my personal favorite of the group. And then here, this is just a cool one because they're no longer around. The Houston Colt 45s. So you got the old vintage uniform with the cool cowboy hat. Lastly, I want to go to some movie entertainment memorabilia. This is one of the coolest posters. I just personally like it because I'm a big fan of the movie. But who's not? Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro, one of the best movies and ultimate roles De Niro ever played.
You talking to me? You talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here.
So if you want to take a closer look at this poster, it's from 1976. So real quick, what you'll notice with vintage posters, you'll have fold lines, and if you're not too familiar with posters, you might think, oh, that's a bad thing. But that's how you know they're original. So if you see we have a horizontal line here, another one below, and they're especially, visible on darker posters because they're white. And then you have one through the middle there. So that's how you know they're original. Now, you can restore them, you can linen back them, in which case you can get rid of the fold lines, make it a lot more clean. There's nothing wrong with that in collecting movie posters. But I like this, if it's a decent poster and a nice shape like this, I like to show the originality because this is how it would hang at the movie theaters in the 1970s. Also, what's rare about these posters, so on the bottom there in very fine print, it has a whole NSS disclaimer. National Screen Service is the one who provided movie posters to the theaters. And at the conclusion of the movie showing in the theater, they were supposed to return the posters or destroy them. That never happened, so they never returned them. So typically they just got thrown away, or someone at the movie theater was lucky enough to keep one for themselves, in which case that's why they exist today. So that's really cool. It's an original Taxi Driver movie poster from 1976, really nice condition, and again featuring Robert De Niro. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please email me directly, respond to the email, just reach out to us, call, whatever. Thanks for watching.